Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best small forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, before we hop into this video, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 4,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. I would really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. Additionally, these top 10 lists are exclusively my opinion, so keep that in mind. And I also don't just do primary small forwards. I will do a primary, as long as they can play the small forward position. It doesn't have to be their primary position. They're eligible for these lists. That's just the way I like to do my top 10 lists. I know some people do them differently, but that is my personal opinion. But without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it. At number 10, I have TyDeBo, who I did have higher on the shooting guard position, but I think the small forward position is, for one, significantly more stacked than the shooting guard position at this point in the game. And also, Terry, his defensive ability isn't going to help him as much as small forward as it would at the shooting guard position, because there's more elite defensive small forwards, and Terry is not the greatest defensive card. Solid, good badges. Overall, his badges are really good. Sniper, catch and shoot, quick first step, intimidator, some really great Hall of Fame badges. Statistically, I mean, he's really pretty complete. Elite slasher, shooter. Speed is really good, and he's a solid enough defender. Has solid enough size, 6'7" with 7'3" wingspan, but that's not like elite size at the small forward position. And he does have Rudy Gay release on quick, which is a phenomenal release, one of the best releases in the game, in addition to elite dribble sigs. But the thing is, I think at the small forward position, one of the most important things, one of the singular most important things about the small forward position, if not the most important, is being an elite on-ball defender. And I don't think Terry is as elite of an on-ball defender as maybe everybody else on this list, with the exception of maybe one or two cards. Elite offensive card, but I think that's less important at the small forward position. I prefer Terry at shooting guard, and for me, I think he still is number 10 at small forward. But that being said, this small forward position is really, really stacked. So even at number 10, still an awesome option. And Clay, obviously Terry's amazing. Clay is number 9, just another great example. He's number 2 on the shooting guard list, an elite card. Like, he's a really solid defender. 6'6" is a little small for the small forward position though. And defensively, he's really good. There's no flaws in the card, but his interior, maybe not the greatest. 80 interior, 80 block is super solid, but it's not like jump off the page amazing. Does need rim protector, chase down artist, post lockdown, rebound chaser, things like that. Shooting badges are elite. No half quick first step though, like the diamond had, which is a bit disappointing. I wish they had given him half quick first step, but even without it, still an elite card. Again, elite playmaker as well, with great dribble sigs and elite jump shot. All those things going for him, but I think because of his slight lack of size, in addition to the fact that he's not maybe the greatest interior defender, that is why I would put him down at number 9. Just because I don't think he's going to quite give you the same amount defensively as most of these guys, and also isn't going to give you the size that a lot of these dudes, like for example number 8, will give you. And at number 8, I have Lamar Odom, who on paper, not nearly as good of a card as Clay. I will admit that right now. He's missing several badges that Clay has. 10 Hoffs, which are mostly playmaking badges, in addition to chase down artists and a couple finishing ones. No Hoff defensive badges besides that chase down artist badge, and his stats aren't as good as Clay's either. The thing about Lamar, 6'10" with a 6'11" wingspan. He's got the same wingspan, but he's significantly taller, much larger player build. Still a really good shooter. Has the fundamental dribble style, which is the same as Paul George dribble style, so he can move a bit. Jumper is super solid as well. Just a Paul George clone, basically, with a lefty release. Super solid athlete, great slasher, like just a really good all-around card. But the thing that he also has going for him is the fact that he has that elite size, and that helps him out a lot on the defensive end of the court, in addition to Hoff chase down artists, which is a really big badge on the interior and in terms of playing on the ball as well, getting chase downs on guys who beat you off the dribble. And I just think this card for the small forward position specifically fits better than a guy like Klay Thompson, even though he's probably not as good of a card as Klay Thompson overall. And for that reason, I'm sliding him in at number 8 with Clay, or at number 9. At number 7, I'm going Jason Tatum, who is a great small forward in every way except for shot creation. But I think shot creation is not as important as small forward, as y'all can probably tell. 6'8", hotspots from everywhere. 15 Hoffs include elite shooting badges and elite defensive badges like Limitless, Sniper, Deadeye, Catch and Shoot, Ball Stripper, Clamps, Interceptor, Menace, and Pickpocket. Really good badges on this card. Also super solid slasher. Elite defensive card. He has good size. He's a good athlete. Jump shot is super smooth and pretty quick. Definitely a good one. Movement is not elite, but he's a guy who can shoot the three-pointer at a high level, slash the rim at a high level, and defend at a high level on both the interior and the perimeter. And I think that is the type of guy that you want at that small forward position. Also a free card, one of the best free cards in the game. I recommend picking up Tatum if you're a nobody spent player and having fun with the card, and I think he definitely deserves his spot right here at number 7. At number 6, we're going with LeBron James. And LeBron is definitely a beast. There is no doubting that whatsoever. The thing is, I play mainly on current gen, and I think LeBron's release, with him not being able to shoot corner threes on current gen, hurts him a bit. He does have elite size at 6'9" with 7-foot wingspan, 14 hops, includes some really good ones like bullet passer, dimer, chase downers, clamps, interceptor, pogo stick, some good finishing ones as well. Great speed, an elite defender, amazing defensive animations as well. Jumper is kind of though, and his movement isn't great. So those two things hurt the card a bit. He is an incredible on-ball defender and a really good off-ball defender. The Hoff interceptor is super nice on him, especially with his length and size, as well as his player build. Just overall, he's a great all-around card. Not a lot of flaws. If he could shoot corner threes though and had a jumper that was slightly better, I think I would have him really close to the top 2 or 3 on this list. That not being able to shoot threes, especially at the small forward position where most of your shots are going to come from the corner, that definitely hurts the card. And for that reason, I'm putting him at number 6. At number 5, we're going Kawhi Leonard, who, as y'all probably know if y'all watched my small shooting guard list, was lower than both Clay and Terry on that list. But here's the thing about Kawhi. Kawhi's biggest strength is his defensive ability. He is an elite, incredible perimeter defender, as well as having phenomenal interior ability as well. Badges are phenomenal on the defensive end, as well as Hoff quick first step. Has really solid size. The same player build as Terry. Just the fact of the matter is he's a much better defender than a guy like Terry. He's bigger than a guy like Clay and a better defender than Clay. One of the best on-ball defenders in the game. Some people would argue he's the best. Also has an elite jump shot with a Ray Allen base. So he's a great catch and shoot guy. One of, if not the best pure 3-and-D guys in the game, who can also go get you a bucket a little bit because he's a solid slasher, fundamental dribble style, pro 5 behind the back. Overall, Kawhi is a monster. I think he's better at the shooting guard, small forward position than the shooting guard position, and I think that he is a top 5 small forward in my team 100%. At number 4, we have the top shooting guard in the game, the guy who I had at number 1 in my shooting guard ranking, which was Reggie Lewis. And the thing about Reggie is very similarly to Kawhi. He's an elite defensive card with solid size at 6'7". Hot shots are almost everywhere. He's an elite playmaker and defender and yada, yada, yada. But the defense is where he really shines. Clamps, interceptor, intimidator, menace, pickpocket, incredible defensive stats in the perimeter and really good on the interior as well. Can get a rim protector, post lockdown, things like that. Hall of Fame quick first step as well. And he also has a really good jump shot. Kemba Walker released on quick is one of the quicker and easier to green releases in the game. Shifty dribble style and the pippin behind the back as well. So he has half court and full court movement. This card really is kind of the perfect package at small forward. The reason that I don't have him higher is simply because of the fact that he is only 6'7" and doesn't have a huge player build. And those things do matter because I don't think he's quite as good of a defender because of his player build and things like that as well one other guy on this list. And he just doesn't, I don't know. At small forward position, size is really important. And that's the one thing that Reggie Lewis kind of lacks. And for that reason, I'm not putting him higher than number 4. And at number 3, we have AK, who I think, again, is a guy who you can just say objectively is not as good of a card as Reggie Lewis. But for me, he fits better at the small forward position. Being 2 inches taller with a bigger player build, still having an elite jump shot 98, which is one of the better jumpers in the game. He doesn't have the movement of a Reggie, but he is an incredible defender. One of the best defensive cards, if not the best defensive card in the game. 97 steal, block, lateral quickness, 95 perimeter, 90 interior. He gets stops on the interior and the perimeter. He's got elite defensive badges on both his Hoffs and his golds, Hoff, bullet, and dimer as well. Really good shooter, can get limitless spot up, not lacking any badges. This card is the perfect 3-and-D guy in my team. And he's super valuable, super cheap as well. I think for his value, he's a guy who should be on basically every squad in my team. And I think he does deserve to still be a top 3 shooting guard. Top 3 small forward in my team. At number 2, we're going with Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the glitchiest cards in my team. He just has an incredible player build at 6'11", looking about 7'1", with a 7'4" wingspan. Only one hotspot and not the best shooter compared to most of the guys in this list, with only a 76 shot 3. And he doesn't get badges like Limitless or Sniper. You think about that, you say, he's not that great. But the fact of the matter is, he is still so good. Hoff clamps, Hoff intimidator, menace, pogo stick, gold every single defensive badge, Hoff quick first step, elite finisher. He is, like I said, 6'11", looks about 7', 7'1", so he's huge. He plays lanes at an incredible level. He gets amazing chase downs. He can guard it on the interior better than literally any card on this list. Jumper is still really good. It's super quick and easy to green, so you can definitely knock down the open catch and shoots in the corner, which is the main shot that you need that small forward to knock down. He's going to be checking from those spots. Definitely still a super solid shooter, especially with how easy it is to shoot this year. And overall, this Giannis card is a monster. I just think he gives you so much on defense in terms of on the ball, off the ball, his slashing ability and transition, his interior ability, and his solid shooting ability as well. It's enough for me to put him top 2, but not number 1. And number 1, I think, goes to KD, because KD kind of gives you that perfect package at the small forward position. He can guard the interior, he can guard the perimeter, he can create his own shot at a really high level. He's an elite slasher, he has elite size, he has the total package. 6'9" with a great player build and a 7'4" wingspan. Hot shots are everywhere. Really elite stats in terms of shooting, speed, dunking, speed with ball. Defense is really good as well. Hoff shooting badges galore. Hoff quick first step and quick chain, as well as clamps, intimidator, and menace on Hoff on defense. Can also get the brick wall, the worm, the box, the rebounding badges like that. But even those badges I don't think are as crucial because he already has the interior badges on gold, like a rim protector, chase down artist, things like that, as well as Hoff intimidator, Hoff menace, gold post lockdown. He can guard on the interior. He's a really good perimeter defender, and he's one of the best offensive cards in my team as well, with an elite jumper, elite dribble, 6 with shifty, and the pip and behind the back, as well as the pro 2 between the legs. Yeah, I think he's just, he honestly, KD is just a Reggie Lewis, except a couple inches taller and with a better player build. That's the type of card he is, and that's the type of card that I think deserves to be #1 on this list. So as y'all can see, this is my top 10 small forwards in the game. Y'all can see how strong the small forward position is right now. The guys who are at the very bottom of the small forward tier list were guys who are top 3 in the shooting guard rankings, and y'all can just see how good the small forward position is right now. But also keep in mind, Andre Kirilenko, easily under 50K. Lamar Odom, like 20, 25K. Jason Tatum is free. Reggie Lewis is free, although hard to get at times. Terry isn't super expensive, neither is Kawhi. A lot of these guys are super reasonably priced or even free options that you can pick up for your squad. So keep that in mind when you're building your team, that you can pick up some of the small forwards in the game for a super reasonable price. And hopefully this video does help you out. If it does, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.